God bless!
Luke is the mascot of Street Fighter 6 and a great choice if you want to play an all-rounder who does a bit of everything. He plays a fundamental based game built around whiff punishment and strike throw pressure. His neutral is strong, but his offense isn't as scary as some of the other members of the cast. Luke has a tool for every situation, which can feel overwhelming at first. He's a surprisingly deep character and one that can grow in complexity as you learn him. In this video I'll first discuss Luke's game plan and how he wins neutral. Then I'll cover each of his moves and how they're used. Then I'll give some general tips for playing Luke effectively. After that I'll give advice on how to pressure your opponent in Burnout. Finally, I'll give some recommendations on pro players to watch. I'll go through Luke's combos and Oki in another video. That video should be out within a week. There's a lot to cover there and this video was getting too long already. Luke is versatile and can run a variety of game plans. He's a good character to pick up if you're new to the game and want to try a bit of everything. Like most characters in Street Fighter 6, his overall goal is to win neutral and push the opponent to the corner. One option is to play defensively, using his fireball and long-range advancing buttons to shut down the opponent's game plan and chip away at their resources. Another option is to play at mid-range and try to whiff punish and poke at the opponent. Although Luke's speed is only average, he makes up for that with forward advancing buttons and strong whiff punish tools. You can also play Luke more aggressively, using drive rush and crouch medium punch to create strike throw mix-ups. To truly make the most out of Luke, you shouldn't stick to a single game plan, but instead fluidly switch between playstyles depending on the situation. I believe that versatility is one of Luke's core strengths, and if you always play the same way, you're not making the most of that. Once you have experience in a matchup, you may find yourself approaching it differently. When learning him, it's probably best to stick to a single game plan and experiment with others over time. Now let's talk about Luke's moves. Crouching light punch is a standard 4-frame jab. It chains into itself up to 3 times and combos into light and OD knuckle. On punish counter or drive rush, you have enough time to link a crouching heavy punch or a standing light punch target combo, depending on the range. Since it's Luke's only 4-frame, you'll be using crouching light punch a lot in block strings and to interrupt your opponent. At max range, cancelling into fireball on block leaves you safe, but there is a gap. Crouching light kick is a 5-frame low. You can mix it into your strings to catch your opponent walking back or to frame trap them. Stand light punch is an unconventional button. At 7 frames, it's slow for a light. It's a forward advancing jab that is safe on block and can be used to check your opponent from longer ranges. It's also a great whiff punish button. On hit, it leads to a target combo which does good damage and Oki. You can cancel the third hit into OD fireball to make it relatively safe. This can be good if your opponent is low on drive and you want to burn them out. Any other ender will either lose to DI, is punishable, or can be interrupted. If you have level 3, there's a gimmick where you can use a charged heavy knuckle and respond to a DI with super. This is a gimmick and the opponent can jump it on reaction for a full combo. Luke's standing light kick is a quick safe button with decent range and low recovery. It works well as a buffer. It's also Luke's longest 5-frame, so has use in certain punishes. Crouching medium punch is Luke's bread and butter. It's fast and plus on block. It's great for starting pressure or as a whiff punish. It's also a fantastic option to buffer into a drive rush. On hit, you can get a big combo. On counter or punish counter, you can combo into back heavy kick for even more damage. If it's blocked, you can do another crouch medium punch, leaving you plus enough to go for a shimmy or a strike throw mix-up. Crouching medium kick is Luke's main low threat. Crouching medium kick drive rush allows for great damage on hit or plus frames on block. There's also a hit confirmable target combo, although the window is tight. Crouching medium kick is a long-ranged poke as well as Luke's best way to punish people for trying to walk away. If you have meter to buffer it into a drive rush, it offers great reward for low risk. Be careful not to over-rely on this because Luke is meter hungry and you'll quickly find yourself in burnout. Standing medium punch is an odd button that's hard to use. It's an advancing move that makes for a solid poke. It's outclassed in a lot of ways by Luke's other advancing buttons. What it does have going for it is a hit confirmable target combo. The second hit of the target combo can be cancelled into any super. This target combo was buffed in Season 3 and restores a lot of drive gauge on hit. The target combo makes standing medium punch a good poke if a super will kill or if you're low on drive and want to recover some quickly. Overall, it's a niche button and not one you'll be pressing a ton. Standing medium kick is a safe, quick poke with low recovery and long range. It might seem useless since it doesn't lead to any combos, but it's a low risk button for checking your opponent. It's not flashy, but it's a solid tool. Don't underestimate it just because it doesn't lead to a combo. Crouching heavy punch is the only button that combos into charged medium knuckle on a regular hit. At 7 frames, it's easy to link into. It combos after drive rush medium punch and suppressor. It even combos after punish counter medium knuckle. It's a key part of his combo game. The range is short, so in some situations you'll need to use other options. Crouching heavy punch adds scaling, so standing heavy punch can be a better choice in certain combos. Outside of combos, this button is a decent anti-air, although light DP is better in most situations. Crouching heavy punch is -13 on block, short ranged and not hit confirmable. It has no place in neutral. Luke's sweep is slow. It has slightly longer range than crouching medium kick and leads to a hard knockdown on hit, but it's punishable on block and so only useful to make a hard read. Use this move sparingly if at all. Crouching medium kick is almost always a better low option. Stand heavy punch has many uses. It's a great poke. On block you can keep it safe by cancelling into heavy fireball, which also does a good amount of drive damage. This does lose to perfect parry however. Be careful spacing this move as the recovery is long. If you get predictable with this button, you may find your opponents walking out of range and getting a full whiff punish combo. Standing heavy punch is also a great whiff punish tool. It combos into charged light knuckle on regular hit and charged medium knuckle on punish counter. It's fast, long range and high reward. Standing heavy punch is also a good combo tool since it doesn't have the extra scaling that crouching heavy punch has. Standing heavy kick can be a hard move to use properly, but it is powerful. It's an advancing knee that's punishable up close, but plus at max range. If you learn the spacing, it can be a useful tool to get up close to your opponent. Depending on the range, it can lead to combos on hit. On punish counter it launches, allowing you to juggle with DP. This move got buffed recently to go over lows, but it's still inconsistent. It usually beats lows, but not always. The other use for standing heavy kick is as a meaty tool. There are some Oki setups which are timed to make the knee plus. I'll cover these in the Combo and Oki guide. Luke's overhead isn't anything special. You can't combo off it without a drive rush, even if it hits meaty. As a drive rush Oki tool it's solid, although it is reactable. It also has utility in neutral, especially against a passive opponent who's holding down back. Suppressor is a unique tool. Luke moves backwards before striking forward with a punch. This pulls your hitbox backwards, although not until the 5th frame. This move is useful when you think your opponent is going to press a button and the suppressor will move you out of range. There's some finesse to this. You'll need to familiarise yourself with how much the move pulls your hurtbox back. It's also slow and easy for the opponent to whiff punish if you're wrong. It's a powerful tool, but can be tricky to use. The other use of Suppressor is to pull your hitbox back during drive rush. This can catch your opponent trying to check your drive rush and lead to a damaging combo. Keep in mind that this only works if your opponent is actually checking your drive rushes. Forward heavy punch is yet another advancing poke. It's hit confirmable into a target combo that does good damage. I personally find this move awkward to use, but many good players do get mileage out of this move. It's a decent move, but I find it has a lot of overlap with Luke's other tools. Back heavy kick is a combo tool that does high damage and is used in max damage combos. On punish counter, it launches the opponent into a spin. Outside of combos, I haven't found a good use for this move. It's a slow poke that's fairly high risk and outclassed by Luke's other options. It's clunky to use as a whiff punish and only slightly more rewarding compared to Luke's other options. In terms of Luke's air normals, medium punch can be good to catch the opponent air to air. Medium kick is your go-to cross-up. Heavy punch has long vertical range and is best for close jump-ins. Heavy kick has long horizontal range and is best when you're further away. I find myself using heavy kick the most, but jump heavy kick and jump heavy punch are both fantastic buttons. Jump back light punch can be useful to air close jump-ins if you aren't ready with the crosscut DP. Now on to Luke's special moves. Although Luke's knuckles technically count as one special move, every strength has a different use and purpose. All non-OD knuckles can be charged, with a more powerful effect when done at perfect timing. Don't be intimidated by the name. Hitting perfects isn't as difficult as it sounds. It only takes a little practice to become consistent. Even if you miss the perfect, the fully charged knuckle will still combo, so missing the perfect isn't too punishing. All versions of light knuckle are unsafe on block. Uncharged, it's a combo ender. It's fast enough to be comboed from lights. The charged version will launch, allowing for a combo. If you miss the perfect and get a fully charged knuckle, you'll get a shorter launch with limited combo potential. Uncharged medium knuckle is only used in combos. Perfect medium knuckle gives a wall bounce, allowing for Luke's most damaging combos. If you miss the perfect, you get the same combos, but with more scaling resulting in lower damage. If you're too close to the corner, the wall bounce will knock the opponent onto the other side, and this will leave you in a bad position. Heavy knuckle pulls Luke back, allowing him to dodge attacks. It's -4 on block, which means if spaced, it can be safe. Charged and perfect heavy knuckle are plus on block. Many Luke players use charged heavy knuckle to bait a DI and then cancel into level 3. This is a gimmick, and the opponent can interrupt with a button or a jump for a full combo. Heavy knuckle becomes scary in Burnout, where it becomes an easy source of plus frames. OD knuckle launches the opponent into the air, allowing for combo extensions. It's fast enough to combo from lights and can be rewarding, especially in the corner. You can spend an extra bar to go into DDT instead. DDT does a ton of damage and is a great option to close out rounds. Luke's knuckles form the core of his combo game. Knuckle combos are spacing specific and can take a bit of getting used to. There's a bit of a dead zone where you're too far from the corner to do a corner combo and too close to do a mid-screen combo. I'll cover this in more detail in my Combo and Oki video. Luke's fireball is unconventional. Instead of a projectile that slowly crosses the screen, it travels almost instantly. The different strengths affect the startup and range of the projectile, but not the travel speed. You can use this move as an extended poke since it hits quickly. In Fireball Wars, Luke can struggle from a lack of range, as none of his normal fireballs go full screen. His OD Fireball does go full screen, and it also travels almost instantly. You can use OD Fireball to punish other fireballs on reaction if you're quick enough. When using Luke's OD Fireball, you can choose to spend another bar to launch an extra projectile which wall splats. This has a few uses. Firstly, for a bit of extra damage to finish off the opponent. Secondly, at the corner it lets you combo into level 1. It can also be useful to push the opponent away if you're cornered. Although it does have uses, 3 bars is a lot to spend, especially on a character who relies so heavily on drive rush cancels. There's not a lot to say about Luke's DP. The light version has the most air invincibility and the shortest range, the medium less invincibility and a bit more range, and the heavy the least invincibility but the most range. Luke has a clean hit mechanic, where hitting on the earlier active frames of the DP will deal more damage. This means you'll do more damage if you DP at the last possible moment. Personally, I don't think it's worth the risk. Luke's OD DP is a standard invincible reversal. It lets you spend an extra bar in exchange for extra damage, which is only worth it if it will kill. Luke's final special move is his run. Run has an overhead and a tackle follow-up. Both are unsafe on block, so this move is only used in combos or in specific Oki situations. The OD version of the overhead follow-up is safe on block at -3. This gives Luke a long-range overhead option. I've personally got some usage against dulcims that like to hold float, but that's about it. In Burnout, the OD overhead is +1 on block. This can be useful to close long distances. For the most part, Luke's run is not useful in neutral. Luke's level 1 is fantastic. It's 6 frames and has long range. Note that it doesn't hit at full range immediately, as the projectile takes a few frames to travel. You can use this super to punish many things that are normally safe, such as whiffs at long ranges. The super is a series of fireballs, which means it will go through other fireballs assuming they won't hit you within 6 frames. This is especially useful in Burnout. Luke's level 2 is a bad reversal. It is fully invincible and fast, but the range is dreadful. It will whiff at anything other than point blank range. As a combo ender, Luke's level 2 gives good Oki in the corner. It leaves you plus and within throw range. Luke's level 3 travels far and is fully invincible for 13 frames. This allows you to punish fireballs on reaction. This is situational. It only works against fireballs with longer recovery and only at certain ranges. It won't work against slow fireballs as the invincibility will run out. You'll have to get a feel for your reaction time to see what you can and can't punish. Some moves like JP's spike are easy to punish. It's nowhere near as powerful as Cammy's level 3, but it's a nice tool in certain matchups. Luke's level 3 is not effective as an anti-air. It'll usually whiff against jump-ins. Since Luke can't combo his level 3 after DP, he does not have a way to convert anti-airs into supers. Hopefully that's given you an understanding of Luke's tools and how to use them. When first learning Luke, I'd recommend focusing on just a few key tools. You can play a solid neutral game built around his crouching medium punch, crouching medium kick, jab and standing heavy punch. Once you get comfortable with these tools, try incorporating more options one by one. Luke has a lot of situational tools, and if you try to incorporate them all from the start, it may be overwhelming. Luke is reliant on drive rush cancels for his damage and pressure. Because of this, you need to be extra careful to avoid burning yourself out. Meter management is one of the most important skills for playing Luke effectively. Since Luke has great whiff punish tools, he can punish his opponent for being over-aggressive. Sometimes it's best to play patiently and let the opponent give you an opening rather than forcing it. Luke has strong burnout pressure. His light punch target combo works from long range and can be cancelled into fireball to leave him plus. This also beats level 1 reversals. After this, standing heavy kick can get you back in their face to repeat the pressure. Alternatively, you can keep things safe by walking forwards instead. In the corner, the light punch target combo leaves you close enough to do a standing light kick into another fireball. From here you can micro walk forward to repeat the pressure. Heavy punch fireball will leave you +5, and you can choose not to do the fireball to bait a super. Heavy punch or drive rush crouch medium punch are your best options for cancelling into DI for a stun. Luke's burnout pressure is incredibly strong, especially in the corner. If you can burn your opponent out without too much cost, you should do it. Do it. Now for some recommendations for players to watch. For my money, Chris Wong is the best Luke player right now. He's solid and calculated and rarely makes bad decisions. He's my go-to for learning new matchups since he plays in such a fundamentally sound way. No other prodigy has a unique playstyle that's hard to imitate. He plays incredibly aggressively and spends his drive meter quickly. He gets away with this because he's amazing at playing in Burnout and his reactions are always on point. There's a lot to learn from watching his playstyle, but like I said, it's hard to replicate. Jininho Raz is another great example of an aggressive Luke player. He plays aggressively but without taking too many risks. He's a good contrast to Noah, showing an alternative aggressive playstyle that doesn't involve burning yourself out. I'd also recommend using the in-game replays feature and sorting by highest rating. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll answer them in the comments, and if there are enough questions, I'll make a follow-up video. I'll release the Combo and Oki guide within a week of this video. I've already written it, but the video was just getting too long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.